Gavin, obviously looking to Saturday now, it's another big game, another big opportunity for us to get another 3 points on the board. How much are you looking forward to it?
Everyone's in a good mood in training this week. We're at home, so we're looking forward to the game, and hopefully we'll get 3 points.
The last time Morton were here, we probably should have won that game. It finished 2 each, and we'll probably feel we should have won at Capello as well, which also finished 2 each. So I guess it's important that we don't take it lightly. We know that if we're not ruthless, then we could be ending up with another draw, which is probably no use to us.
It's probably been the story of our season, if you're looking back on it, that a few games we're still probably edged and won. I thought Capello had done enough to win the game, but that's how football works. You go away with a point. Usually going away to the ground, you take a point. It's tough places to go. But no, as I said, we're at home, so we're looking to go and get 3 points.
The 1 each at Starts Park there at the weekend just passed. A game that we might look back on as a point gained.
I don't know, we'll need to see until the end of the season, but I thought the first half were very good, and then second half we kind of lost our way a wee bit. Chances both sides, but nah, we just need to look forward to Saturday, and we've got 3 more cup finals to go.
Do you think it was in, the one that came off the crossbar?
I did. As soon as I shifted it onto my right foot, I did it in training quite a lot, so I just wanted to try and hit the target, and unfortunately hit the bar.
That would have been another entry in the Go of the Season competition for you if that had went in, I think.
I know, I'm gutted, but no, hopefully I get another chance on Saturday to do it, and hopefully it goes in this time.
It's a game that I suppose we go into and it's nice and straightforward. We know what we need to do. What do you expect from Morton? Because they're in a sort of strange position. They're in the table 8 points clear of 9th place and 7 points behind 4th. So I suppose it's not impossible that they could slip either way, but it seems unlikely they're going to be either in the promotion race or the relegation battle. So what do you expect from them?
Nah, listen, I think they'll come here and they'll be thinking about trying to get 3 points off us. It's Dougie's team. They're never ones to lie down, and we're kind of comfy. We're in a position where we can't really go down or push for playoffs, so it'll be a tough game.
I suppose if we put ourselves in their shoes, we'd be going out to try and get ourselves a strong finish to the season for all the other reasons that come into it, what you want for your summer, what you want to achieve in the season to come. So if we think that way, then we've got to expect them to be at their best.
Oh, absolutely. No team should go into a game thinking, we don't need to win today, or we can get a draw or anything. You should go into every game thinking we're going to win and we're going to get 3 points. So I fully expect that from Morton and Dougie's team.
Our performances have been really, really good. We've talked about this with Rhys, we've talked about it with all you guys for a while now, that the level of consistency of performance has been really good, and the points are coming as part of that. Is it frustrating that we're still having to chuck away and that the points gap just seems to be stuck a wee bit?
Well, we always talk about our form from January. I think it's been really, really good. But now we can't concentrate on just teams are about. We just need to concentrate on ourselves and do what we can do out on the pitch.
I suppose if we get that win, it sets up a big grand finale. These last 3 games are huge for us, but do you guys put that out of your minds when you go into the games? Is it all about just one game at a time? I know the kind of cliche stuff we always trot out, but is it easy to do that? Is it hard not to think about the other games going around you and the other games to come?
No, obviously leading up to the game, you just think about yourself. You don't think about other teams, what they're going to, the fixtures they're going to have. You just focus on ourselves, and if we do the job, then I'm sure we'll be fine. And
if you get another shooting chance from edge of the box, do you think you'll go for it again? Another one of those bottom corner efforts this time, maybe?
Absolutely.
Brilliant. Gavin, we'll speak to you soon. Thank you very much.
Cheers.
Rhys, how do you feel about the 1 each at Starts Park a few days on from the actual result?
Obviously you watch it back and straight away you're emotional and invested in the game. I think both teams put a lot into it. You could almost kind of sense the kind of anxiety within both teams, not in a negative way, but just obviously what was at stake during the game. I think we started the game, as I said, really, really well. Probably edged and dominated the first half in terms of the 2 teams, and then flip it on its head. I think Wraith obviously need to get back into the game, and they produce a better second half than us. Missed a few moments as well, and then like I said, obviously post-match, a few kind of key moments and moments in the game that potentially have an outbearing on the result. But all in all, I think probably a point, given the manner of how the game went, would have been probably a fair result for the neutral. But again, we're a wee bit kind of disgruntled that we've been owed a penalty and potentially a goal that seemed okay, especially when we watch it back.
Yeah, every time I watch that back, I still struggle to see where the foul's committed, but perhaps that's the diamond tinted specs being on. I suppose it keeps the run going as well, kept that sense of momentum. A defeat might have been feeling more like a step back than the draw was. It means we've still got that momentum with us as we go into Saturday, doesn't it?
Of course it is, and it probably just tells you how far the boys have come, that we've come away from a team, and from kind of Barry and Rhys' point of view, I think 6 out of 7 games they've kept a clean sheet. They've put in a great wee run to give themselves a chance of making playoffs, and I think arguably in top 4 in terms of club form and how the kind of clubs are performing. It's Falkirk, Livingston, us and kind of Raith Rovers, so that tells you that there were 2 good teams desperate to go and try and win the game, and just because we've had good success recently in the past against Raith, it was a difficult game, but listen, we're pleased, and as I said probably a few months ago, you're looking at that saying it's maybe a great point and one of the ones that you can kickstart a wee bit of momentum like you talk about, but it just shows you that there's probably a wee bit of frustration and kind of lull after it, that you've only got the 1 point given how far we've come in recent weeks certainly, and that just goes to show you how much the performance levels have increased and how much confidence the boys have gone into each game.
A few bumps and bruises picked up along the way. What's the kind of status on the guys that got some knocks?
Obviously Aidan Wilson, I think Gratz was when he'd actually went for the penalty, just overstretched his hamstring, so again it's one of the ones that we can't give a kind of definite date or when he's going to return. We're trying to rest and give him that chance to settle, and hopefully it is just a bit of tightness and it's not going to be anything like a major strain that we've had. Aidan is the kind of same, he just felt a little twinge as he played a pass late on in the game, which to be fair to Aidan, it's eased off a hell of a lot, and listen, for Aidan's kind of mindset and performance levels, he's been out for the best part of a full season. He's come kind of flung back into the deep end, having no much training sessions, no much kind of game time leading up to that. He knows kind of what stage of the season we were at, and he's trying to do his best for the team. Ideally, in an ideal situation, if that was a longer season or you had longer left in the season, you'd maybe kind of bed him in and out and pick certain games to maybe rest him and stuff. So it could just be a bit of fatigue and a build up of games and stuff, but listen, it won't be too bad. I don't think it's going to be overly concerning. And then Alex obviously was just an impact knock right at the very end, which obviously went and got a precautionary x-ray and stuff and came back all clear. I think he went for one, or he didn't go for one. It wasn't needed, sorry. Felt good, so he's just probably doing your usual ice bucket, resting anti-inflams and just try to settle the swelling and stuff, so all good.
And I suppose that having the advantage here at the home pitch, knowing where we are in the league, it's another game that we've got to go all out for the win. Obviously home advantage plays a huge part, certainly in the game obviously against Morton, and that's no kind of being disrespectful. I think you look at the contrast in 2 pitches, and Capello's are very narrow and can become really kind of 50-50 in terms of battling and scrapping, and I think obviously suited to the way that we want to play, and having that luxury, a good surface all year round, plays a massive part, certainly in the build up and the training element. We can practice a lot of what we're trying to implement on the Saturday, and then vice versa, going into the game that you maybe don't have to take as much risks in certain areas of the pitch because of the conditions and stuff. And listen, on the flip side of that as well, that Morton obviously play on their pitch and they've got the chance to come and play on a good surface and stuff as well. So listen, they're not out of it as well. Easy to say that games are coming up and there's dead rubbers and stuff. Everybody's still got something to play for. There's still a slight chance that they can make a last push to get those playoff spots. So fully expect they're always tough games, both home and away, and expect no different Saturday. Yeah, I was going to ask what you thought Morton would be like come this game, because like you say, although they look at a kind of glance at the table, they look like they're pretty settled in the middle of the pack. A couple of results go their way in the last couple of weeks and they could find themselves right on Thistle and Raith's tails, so they'll know that if that's going to happen, they probably need to win this game. Well, I'm not sure if Partick and Raith maybe still have to play each other. I don't know if that's one of the remaining fixtures, but like you say, that is probably unrealistic, but we've seen that probably in recent weeks in terms of results. There's been a few upsets and kind of shock results when you don't expect them, so I'm pretty sure Dougie and the guys over there will be making sure that they're well drilled and they know probably it's a big ask, but at the same time they've got to go about their business and trying to make sure that they're getting as maximum points as they can to try and make playoffs. But like I say, at the same time, we're fighting for our lives down there at the bottom, and we know we've got to put in another really strong performance to get 3 points. We said to Gav as well, if we were in their shoes, we'd be still going all out to get ourselves the 3 points, regardless of whether they thought the playoffs to go up the way we're a realistic prospect or not at that stage. It would still be for professional pride, for your own sense of what you want to achieve in your season. They'd still be going all out, so we can't expect them to have their foot off the gas.
No, absolutely not. And to be fair, Dougie will not let them do that. You know well enough now that if you think that his team's just going to turn up and go through the motions, then you've got another thing coming. There's loads to play for, which probably goes a little bit unnoticed. There's maybe boys playing for contracts, there's maybe boys playing for a starting position in the team. They maybe haven't been in the team to maybe get in the manager's eye for pre-season and to finish the season on a high. Personal goals, in terms of stats, numbers, goals and assists, things like that. There's loads to play for, individual awards for the club, player of the year and stuff like that. So there's loads of different wee accolades and goals that I'd imagine most players and guys will have on the back of their mind. But like you said, it's not quite a dead rubber. There's still a realistic chance, but regardless, as you say, that personal pride comes into it. And there's people that pay hard-earned money to come and follow their team home and away, so they'll make sure that obviously they come and put on a strong performance and give bare minimum 100%, of course.
You were able to get Ben Wilson back on the pitch towards the end on Saturday, which was great to see. I suppose that gives you a bit of a selection headache now, because you've got 3 strikers that could all argue they're in form and are a real goal threat, all looking to try and get onto that park.
I would rather have 3 than none. So important with Ben, like we said, it was one of the ones that I'd spoke to you, I think it was a week ago or 10 days, and we were just looking for it to settle a little bit. Yeah. He managed to come back through training, late Thursday, and Friday managed to join in. No reaction to the stuff that he'd done in his rehab, so that was really pleasing. Managed to obviously then speak to the physios and stuff and ask if he could be available for some kind of game time. Stupid to go and throw him into kind of 90 minutes or any longer than kind of 60, 70. So to get him on for that last part of the game, and what he does is he always gives you a chance at a goal, regardless. He can be kind of not interested in the game as such, or with 5 to go you need to chase a winner, and as we've seen already throughout the season, that usually when a ball falls to him in the box, whatever, he's got that kind of predator instinct. So could be massive. I'd imagine will be, like all the strikers, even like say Lewis McGregor, who's converted probably from a wider player, sometimes played through the middle as well, just because we've got Mox and Diak who are in good running form as well. I've stressed it before and sound like a broken record and probably frustrating myself that it's about everybody collectively. If we had a starting 11, we'd have run out of steam by November.
Yeah.
You start to see that all through the leagues at different levels. Everybody talks about how important the squad is, because the intensity and how football's played it nowadays, gone are the days where you could just go a starting 11 through 30 odd games of the season, as well as cup competitions, and expect no injuries or kind of fatigue. So we've got to make sure that everybody's on board, which they have been, to be fair, all throughout the season, and we've got to make sure that we're laser focused with a big push to go.
And you can sense that amongst the squad. We see even like goal celebrations that the subs are all involved. Everyone seems to be, I think you talked about it after Queen's Park, they're all delighted for each other when someone comes in and does well. So they're going to have to do that, because with the intensity of the games at this stage, when there's so much at stake, you're going to get contact injuries, you're going to get people having to come off, you're going to need people to come on and maybe win you a game towards the end. So you are going to need everyone, all hands on deck.
Of course you do, and it's the point I always stress, and I include myself in that when you play, is that of course you want that element of frustration and kind of anger that you're not playing, and of course I want players to be like that, but at the same time, the minute that overrides what's best for the team and the club comes first, then you're no good to us. It's, as you say, the boys have been very, very good in terms of been kind of cheering on the boys that have been doing well, and that could be even somebody that's directly taking their position for that particular game. But rather than sulk and come on with the wrong mindset and mentality, it's about what can you do to affect the game. You can affect the game in certain areas, what we're asking at the side of the pitch, and then vice versa, have a good training week. As I say, that we form and stuff always looks great, and of course when guys are in form, you've got to try and kind of ride that wave of momentum, but at the same time we go with a squad and we identify the kind of potential weaknesses and areas that we can exploit in the opposition, and we go with an individual or a certain group of individuals in a shape and a kind of way of playing that we think is best to get that 3 points, and if everybody's on board with that, then we stand a better chance than 50-60% being on board and the other 30-40 no being all on board. So going to be massive, and like I said, especially with this time of the season, it feels like another season within a season. Yeah. It gets to that kind of final month and final 3-4 weeks, and regardless of where you are, we've been on the flip side of that, been up chasing the promotion playoffs, and obviously been down the bottom. Trust me, it's the exact same in terms of it's all mental. everything about the game nowadays is mental at this stage of the season. It's about who's strong, who's mentally strong, who can grind it out, who can rally the teammates, who can rally each other round and put in a strong kind of end to the season.
Brilliant. Rhys, we'll see for some of that strong end to the season on Saturday.
Cheers.